What's up, everyone? Brett and I are hanging out at Wallowa Lake. We decided to splurge a little bit for our birthdays this year, so we rented a yurt, like right at the base of these mountains. We decided that on top of all this fun that we're having here, we're gonna do a little photo challenge to spice things up.
So this is a very loose photo challenge. We're going to explore this area over the next couple days, take photos, and kind of like challenge each other to like do better and like take the best photo that you possibly can.
So I guess really the challenge part of the challenge is kind of just dealing with the environment that we're in. We're right next to these mountains, so the clouds and everything, just the climate is, it's just like, it's changing. The lighting is constantly changing. So we only have one camera and with multiple lenses, and we're in a gorgeous environment. Like, that is a challenge.
It is a challenge for two photographers to use the same camera because like 1 minute the mountains will be totally clear and the next minute they'll like be eaten in clouds. So later we're gonna compare photos. So I think this is a super fun photo project, and actually we're super interested to hear from you guys. Go ahead and post a photo of something that you've done recently, a project that you've worked on recently, or something that you're proud of. We want to see what everybody's up to. Let us know what you think of the photos that we take. This is a group challenge, so you guys
it's really
get
more of a discussion.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Give it back in your art classes and your instructors gathering everyone's homework up, and
don't think about it that way.
And you're waiting for that harsh criticism to really just smack you right in the mouth.
That's too serious. That's so stressful.
Let's have some fun. Haha, now I'm recording you. What do you have to say about that? Your dick is what I've led you. Okay, so far this is going great for us. This is the place that keeps on giving. It's giving us life right now. Brett's breaking the rules. We're supposed to be doing photos. And look at him. We spotted a pair of bald eagles. Your dick is what I've led you. Your dick is what. All right, so let's take a look at some of our favorite photos that we took from the challenge, and let's talk about them.
All right, so I took this photo. Thinking about photography as a videographer is really difficult. Shooting vertical is also a little foreign to me. I'm really happy with this photo because at the low angle, I love the angle of your chin too. I think it like makes you look powerful. The pose is really nice that you have. I love the pose. I need to get better at posing.
I do really love my pose, and just like the way my hair is kind of, it gives it almost like a little bit of movement, which is nice because I'm wearing this like big fluffy coat that like, I'm already kind of like a bigger person. So it's like, I feel like I have to work especially as hard, like when it comes to like posing and just being like a model on camera. One huge thing that I think is really successful in photography is like when your model has like sharp angles. My chin, that is very like the most angular part of my face, I think that like the shadow is hitting it nice, and yeah, I don't know. It's overall, it's nice. And my head kind of lines up with the tree line too, so that's cool. I love this shot of you. So this photo was actually taken with our Zeiss 16 to 70 millimeter lens. Because you are so like contrasted with everything else, I think that really like brings you forward as the subject.
So I like this as well because you've frozen the rain, and you get to see that sense of that it's raining with the shutter speed of 1/3200. Like, it's like instant snapshot. You also had f6.3. Those settings required an ISO of 16,000. It's really reassuring that our A6500 can go up to 16,000 ISO and still have a usable image. You pushed the grain because the grain was there in the image, and so having that vintage look of, you know, adding a little bit of extra grain and pushing that, making that intentional is, I think, really smart.
Yeah, thank you. I decided not to fight it.
This is my favorite photo of the whole shoot. I love this photo of me. So this was with the 30 millimeter, and you did an f6.3, which is great. Congratulations for not always shooting wide open, because the background is like much. It's still a little thrown out of focus, but it's much more recognizable. I think the sharpness also, you took advantage of the sharpness of me. The Sigma is really great, but with the Sigma at 1.4, you can miss fine focus details, like the nose will be out of focus if the eyes are in focus. So having a 6.3 has like a lot more of the portrait in focus. So I think that was a really smart decision. I really just love the way that the trees frame me.
I do love doing something like this where it's for someone else, and just like knowing the joy that it brings them like is really rewarding for me. So I'm glad you liked it. So this is actually one of my favorite photos that I took of Brett from this trip. This is actually honestly like one of the first photos that when I took it, I was envisioning being in black and white. I remember I asked you to put your sweatshirt over your mouth and to kind of like just look into the camera, and there's just something about like your hair being tousled. Is it tousled? Your hair being like kind of, you know, like wind blown, I guess. And it's similar and different to the last photo. I always find that there's something really like nostalgic about black and white photos, no matter what the subject matter is. When I think back on my life, like flashes of things here and there, like I'll picture this shot of you.
Finally, one that I took.
I love this one.
This one is probably one of my favorite photos that I've taken of you. This is the one that's still on my phone lock screen. I was looking to take more of a traditional portrait, but I really like experimenting with the framing of things. So I was trying to frame you on the lowest third and then have empty space above your head on purpose. I've noticed that when I shoot video, a lot of the times I'll frame eye lines too close to the edge of the frame. So I was really trying to experiment and break that habit and like give a lot of headroom. But yeah, I love your look. It's like a very intimate look, and it looks like straight down into the lens, and the hair coming in front of your face is really nice. So I think you did just as much work as I did in this photo.
Aw, thanks, babe. You ready?
Ready.
Out in the sun, it found us. This is just so beautiful out here. I swear I am also manning the camera, but
you're the only one manning the behind the scenes camera.
I'm doing behind the scenes work.
Can I have
here.
the ND filter?
You mean this ND filter?
Yes, please.
I am also an assistant. I'm a great assistant. Hire me. The weather was changing like crazy. One second it would be snowy, wet, and then here, in this photo, like the sun just came out and it was just like lighting up that entire lake, and the reflection was so dope. I don't know. I wanted this to feel like more of like an adventure type shot, and I think that I don't know. It looks like there's even like maybe your hair is just like crazy but good. That was just a good weekend. That was a good hair weekend for you.
Somehow.
It looks like the wind's blowing in it, but you can't really tell. I don't know, but like I feel like you can feel the wind in your hair in this shot. So
nice. It's definitely beanie hair, but I'll take it.
That's the secret. That's it.
I'm extremely happy with this photo. The sun came out and it was just beautiful and bright and dreamy, like almost. And so in order to accentuate that, we have this little filter that changes the way that the bokeh in the background behaves, and it makes it even more trippy, but you can still get a really crisp shot in the middle. So this is what we use. It's a little mason jar lid, and we call it the flower filter. I love the edit that you did on this.
This was a tough one to edit. There's really only like yellow, orangish maybe, and then you get kind of like the blue in the sky.
Yeah, right. It was like such a high contrast image that I just decided to let some of the clouds go overexposed. So when you pushed that into the face, when you think about like the dreamy effect, like usually there's a lot of overexposure and stuff like that. And so I don't think that this is using that in a cheesy way. I think this is super effective. So, landscape photo. I really love this landscape photo. Landscape photography is really, really hard, and I'm really happy with how this one came out. I took this shot, but Elisa edited it. I think if we compare it to another photo that we took that we haven't talked about yet, because we didn't really like it, I took both of these shots. So I don't really like this one so much. I don't know, it's just not like a super compelling image, even though these mountains were really beautiful in person. I think that is not so true here. We were up on this giant hill, so it was a total perspective change.
I think also too, you get a sense of scale, which is something
Yeah.
that also in video, I think that we've talked about is really hard to capture. Like when mountains are involved, just getting like the grandeur. With this photo, you have your trees in the foreground, which is really nice because then like you get to see like just at the base of the mountain how tiny those things are. So it's like it really does give you a sense like how massive those things are. So I think that's very successful as well. All right, final photo. This is my high fashion photo of the Wallowas. We were up on those golden hills and I saw this like really oddly shaped kind of curved tree that didn't have any leaves on it, and I knew that I wanted to take a photo of it, but I was like, what's an interesting way to do that? So I got down a super low angle and had Brett come and be my model. We found this like other branch thing that was like a naked tumbleweed type thing, whatever the heck it was. I had him position his body so that it was kind of mimicking that shape of the tree, just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting, and I think it turned out pretty well. So that about wraps up the photo challenge video, and our little birthday road trip to the Wallowas. Eastern Oregon, if you haven't been, you need to be because it's amazing. It will blow your brains. Thank you again so much for watching. Feel free to check out our other social media sites down here. We tend to post a little bit more frequently than we do to YouTube. Pop into our Instagram and feel free to critique us on any of the stuff that we didn't go over today, any of the stuff that's coming out. We would love to hear from you.
And if you liked this video, like it on YouTube. It's actually very helpful to us. And if you enjoy this type of content, subscribe to our channel so you can be notified of more videos like this.